Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolutely wild story of Top Jirayut, a guy who was rejected by every single university in his own country, only to turn around and build one of Thailand's very first billion-dollar unicorn companies.
30 billion baht. That's a little over 1 billion US dollars. Just think about that number for a second. That's the valuation that made the Thai crypto exchange Bitkub an official unicorn. It's a mind-blowing figure for a company that's only been around for a few years.
So how did he get there? Well, you might be surprised to hear that his journey to this massive success didn't start with some brilliant business plan. Nope, it started with failure. Academic failure, a serious rebellious streak, and an obsession that had absolutely nothing to do with tech.
So let's rewind and start right at the beginning, because this is a story of a complete 180. I mean, you really can't make this stuff up. As a teenager, Top was a self-described troublemaker. He lived and breathed football. He was captain of his school's team, but his grades, they were terrible. So bad, in fact, that when he came back to Thailand, not a single local university would take him. But then, a chance to study in the UK changed everything.
He basically took all that obsessive energy he was pouring into football and just aimed it straight at the library. And wow, did it pay off. He graduated with first-class honors right at the top of his class and then snagged a spot for his master's at the University of Oxford. Get this, he was the youngest person in his entire program at just 21 years old. Okay, so he's graduated from Oxford. He's got the world at his feet, but he still had no idea what he wanted to do. That is, until a few chance encounters across 3 different countries completely changed the game.
It all started in Shanghai. He's in this short-lived banking job he doesn't really like, and he hears about this crazy new thing called Bitcoin after its price just exploded. His interest was officially piqued. A little later, in Silicon Valley, he meets a former PayPal exec who tells him, yeah, digital currency is the future. It's what PayPal wanted to be but couldn't.
But the real turning point, the conversation that lit the fuse, happened over dinner in the Philippines. A friend just laid it all on the line for him. You're young. You have this incredible degree as a safety net. Your family can support you. You are in the perfect spot to take a huge risk. And that was it. That's all it took to convince him to ditch the safe corporate path and jump headfirst into being an entrepreneur.
So he flies back to Thailand, ready to launch his first Bitcoin company. But man, the reality of being a startup founder was a brutal wake-up call. This was a trial by fire in every sense of the word.
Let's just paint a picture of how humble we're talking. His first office, a borrowed space right above his mom's clothing shop. His only equipment was a desk someone gave him and his old laptop from university. He was the CEO, the marketing guy, the customer support agent. He was everything. And his very first customer, you guessed it, the same aunt who gave him the desk. And the pushback? It came from everywhere, all at once. The Bank of Thailand put out warnings against Bitcoin. He was being investigated by the Anti-Money Laundering Office and the Revenue Department. People thought he was a scammer. His friends made fun of him. And his own employees? They were quitting left and right every time a scary-looking government letter showed up. And if the public pressure wasn't enough, you have to imagine what was happening at home. His family had spent a fortune on his education, and now they saw him doing something they were convinced was illegal. They thought he was going to end up in jail. His dad literally begged him to just shut the whole thing down. So you've got this immense pressure, but he couldn't talk to anyone about it. Not his family, not his friends, not even his team. He was totally alone. It got so bad that for 7 weeks in a row, he'd just go to the airport on a Friday night, point at the departures board, buy a ticket, and just escape for 48 hours. He's fighting this lonely war for years, and then an announcement from the other side of the planet changed everything. The day was April 1st, 2017. Japan officially legalized Bitcoin. And just like that, overnight, Top went from being this pariah, this outcast, to a total visionary. He said it felt like a mountain had been lifted off his chest. The idea he'd been fighting for, the one everyone called crazy, was suddenly proven right. And with that vindication came attention, a lot of attention. The media started calling, investors started calling, and soon his first company was acquired by the Indonesian tech unicorn Gojek. It was his first successful exit. He had finally made it. So what you do when you've made it? Retire to a beach somewhere? Not Top. He immediately took everything he had, everything he learned, and poured it into an even bigger vision, building a powerful, lasting Thai tech company. He founded Bitkub.
this time, he had credibility, he had experience, and the growth of Bitkub was just insane. I mean, look at these numbers, from 3 million baht in revenue to 30 million to 300 million. That's 1,000% growth year after year. It's the kind of thing you read about in textbooks.
But here's the thing that really separates him. This wasn't just about making money. He wanted to build what he called a great company for Thailand. See, he'd watched his first company get bought and then kind of forgotten. This time, he was on a mission to build real digital infrastructure for his country so that its financial future wouldn't be controlled by foreign giants.
And he put his money where his mouth is. We're talking over 1 billion baht in corporate taxes paid to date. For him, that's not just a number. It's a direct contribution to Thailand's economy, a way of building national strength and preventing the country from becoming, in his words, a digital colony.
So when you look at Top's journey, from a kid failing in school to a guy building a unicorn, it's pretty clear. An idea everyone thinks is crazy, combined with just sheer unstoppable perseverance, can literally change everything. Which kind of makes you wonder, right? What's the Bitcoin of today? What's that crazy idea everyone is laughing at right now that might just change the world tomorrow?